Hey, what's up there, Roulette players? Welcome back to Casino Wars, where every day we break down real roulette strategies that you can test, track, and tweak for better play at the roulette tables. I'm your host, Lenny, and if you love seeing new ways to test on the roulette wheel, you came to the right place. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a roulette spin. And hey, if you got a system or a roulette strategy that you would like me to test out on my channel, please write me an email at LVcasino.wars@gmail.com. I'll post the link right up here. I would love to feature your idea on my upcoming video. All right, and thank you so much for joining me today. And today's system is about, it's going to be about the chop. I changed it up in the middle of the video, so in the beginning I was only playing one color, but I realized that I think it's better if we go with the chop, and it did work out better. But what it is I'm adding one unit whether I win or lose until I get to a certain goal. Once I get to that goal, then I reset back to one unit, and then I do it again until I reach my next goal. And if I go below my goal before, I will reset at the old goal just to make it safe. And thank you, and don't forget to like, and don't forget to share, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, and please subscribe. And let's get right into the video. Okay, and here's that roulette strategy in action. So I'm going to put one unit on red and spin. All right, that's a win. Now we're going to rebet. We're going to double it and spin. All right, that's a win. We'll rebet. We're going to add one unit and spin. All right, that's a loss. So we're going to rebet. I'm going to add one unit and spin. And that's a red. That's a win. So we're going to rebet. I'm going to add a unit and spin. And that's a loss. So we're going to rebet. I'm going to add a unit and spin. That's a win. All right, so we're going to rebet. I'm going to add a unit and spin. All right, that's a loss. So we're going to rebet. We're going to add a unit and spin. That's a loss. So we're going to rebet. We're going to add a unit and spin. That's a loss. So we're going to rebet. Add a unit and spin. Okay, we finally got a win. So we're going to rebet. We're going to add a unit and spin. All right, that's a loss. So we're going to rebet. Add a unit and spin. right, that's a win. So we're going to rebet, add a unit, and spin. All right, we got another win. All right. So now we're going to go back to 1. No, not yet. We're actually going to rebet, going to add a unit and spin. That's a loss. So we're going to rebet, add a unit and spin. All right, that's a loss. We're going to rebet, add a unit and spin. That's a win. So we're going to rebet, add a unit and spin. That's a win. So we're going to rebet, add a unit and spin. All right, that's a win. All right, now we're going to go back to the original $1. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch to black. And we're going to spin. All right, that's a loss. So we're going to rebet. We're going to add a unit and spin. All right, that's a win. We're going to rebet, add a unit and spin. If we win this, we'll go back to $1 on red. All right, but we lost. Add a unit and spin. All right, we won. But we're going to do it one more time because we're not at the 30 yet. So we're going to rebet, add a unit and spin. We need one more win to be over 30. All right, but that's a loss. So we're going to rebet, add a unit and spin. If we win here, we will. No, we didn't. All right, so we lost. So we're going to rebet, add a unit and spin. And we hit it. So even though we didn't reach the 30, we're going to go by the, we did reach the other one. So we're going to go back to 1 red. We're going to be smart. This is how you're playing smart as well as reevaluating. You're going to play smart and go back, reset anytime you can. So we're resetting at 20. And we're going to spin. And we'll do it again at 30. That's a red. That's a win. So we're going to rebet. Add another unit and spin. All right, that's a black. We're going to rebet. Add a unit and spin. All right, that's a win. So we're going to rebet, add a unit and spin. All right, that's a win. We got our 30. So we're going to go back to 1 on black and spin. right, that's a green. That's not good for anyone. Okay, so we're going to rebet. And we're going to add one and spin. All right, that's a red. That's a loss. We're going to rebet. Add one and spin. All right, that's a black. That's a win. All right, we're going to play smart. We're going to go back to 1 because now we're at 30. So we're going to go reset and spin. That's a red. That's a win. We're going to add a 1 and add 2. And whoops. And spin. That's a black. That's a loss. We're going to rebet. Add 1 and spin. That's a black. That's a loss. So we're going to rebet. We'll add another unit and spin. All right, that's a red. That's a win. So we're going to go ahead and reset again because now we hit the 30 again. Bet and spin. And that's a red. That's a loss. Rebet. Add another unit and spin. All right, that's another loss. So I'm going to rebet. I'm going to add another unit and spin. All right, that's a win. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to reset again because we hit 30 again. So I'm going to rebet and spin. Just playing smart so we don't lose all our money. That's a loss. So we're going to rebet. And we're going to add one and spin. That's a black. That's a loss. So we're going to rebet. We're going to add one and spin. That's a black. That's another loss. So we're going to rebet. I'm going to add one and spin. That's a 33 black again. Man. Rebet. Spin. Oops, I forgot to add one. Now we win. All right. So we're going to rebet. Add another one. Spin. Rebet. Add one. Spin. Man, there's black streaks. Rebet. And spin. Double it. Okay, we're gonna go back to 1 because we're at 20 now. So we're gonna go back to 1 and we're gonna do something a little bit different because of the situation. What we're gonna do is we're gonna reevaluate the way we're betting, and we're going to go black, red, black, red, black, red, no matter what. Okay, so we're gonna rebet and spin. All right, that's a red. That's a loss. So we're going to do 1, 2 on red now and spin. All right, that's a red. That's a win. So now we're going to go 3. 1, 2, 3 on black and spin. All right, that's a loss. We're going to go back to red with 4 and spin. And that's a red again. All right, so that's a win. Now we're going to go to black for 5 and spin. There we go. We got the 5. We got the black. All right. So now we're going to go back to red for 6. Spin. That's no good for anybody. All right. So we're going to stay on red because a green came in. So we're just going to rebet and we're going to add 1 and spin. That's a black. That's a loss. Now we're going to go 8 on black. Spin. And that's a black. That's a win. Now we're going to go 9 on red. Spin. And that's a black. That's a loss. So now we're going to go 10 on black. Spin. There we go. We got the win. I'm going to go back 1 on red and spin. We got that. That's a win. I'm going to go 2 on black and spin. All right, that's a win. I'm going to go 3 on red and spin. And that's a win. So now we're going to go 4 on black. Spin. That's a win. All right, so now we're going to go 1 on red and spin. I'm going to reset. We made the 30. There we go. We hit the red. We're taking advantage of the chop right now. 1, and we're going to do 2 on black and spin. All right, that's not good for anyone. So we're going to go 3 on red. All right, we got the win on red. So now we're going to go 4 on black and spin. All right, we got the black. Nice. So we need 1 more win, so we're going to go for 5 on red. Spin. All right, we got the win. Time to evaluate. So we're going 1 on black again. And reevaluation. All right, let's not let ourselves lose $30. But we're still going for 100. It's always the goal. So let's go ahead and spin. All right, that's a red. I think that's a win. Nope, it's a loss. All right, so we're going to go 2 on red and spin. All right, that's a black. We lost. So now we're going to go 3 on black and spin. All right, that's a red. We lost again. Man, the chop is going the opposite direction now. All right, so we're going to go 4 on red and spin. All right, we got the win. All right, so now we're going to go 5 on black and spin. Damn green. So we'll go 6 on red and spin. This will be our last bet if we lose. And we did. All right. That's it. That's my evaluation. I don't want to lose any more than that. So with that being said, what we can do is we can go back to black for 1. And let's see if we could pull it off and bring it back. So let's just do that. And then we'll still be at our 30 units. And we lost. All right, we should have took our 31. But anyway, that is gambling. All right, and don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more roulette strategies. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the closing. All right, gang, that was a great session. We did walk away with 30 units. I know I was all over the place in the beginning. I was playing different strategies, and I was like tweaking it as I went. But like I said, this is where you tweak things as you go in the casino. Feel free to tweak everything, whatever you do, because if you see that you got a lot of blacks coming in or a lot of reds, you know what? Maybe it's better if you go with the chop system, because then at least every other one will be a win if you're in a long history of a bad streak. So that's my advice to you on the roulette tables. I just want to thank you again. Thank you, and please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and please don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss another roulette strategy. All right, well, that's it for today's video. I really appreciate you guys joining me today, and keep those emails coming at LVcasino.wars at gmail.com. Thank you, and I'll post it up here as well. But after I post that, and after that goes away, I'll post the subscribe button right here, and I'll post a nice video here for you guys. All right, well, thank you, and you guys have a wonderful weekend.